Time now, though, for a look at the day's business news with Brian Quinn, starting with the announcement of more stimulus from the European Central Bank.
That's right. A surprise announcement yesterday from the ECB saying it will keep benchmark interest rates at historic lows and launch a new round of cheap loans to eurozone banks. That comes as the central bank is sharply downgrading its projections for overall economic growth in the 19-member currency bloc for 2019 from 1.7 just 3 months ago to 1.1% now. A planned interest rate hikes will be delayed until at least 2020, and loans known as targeted longer-term refinancing operations will be rolled out to banks for the third time in 4 years. Official data shows eurozone growth at just 0.2% in the final quarter of 2018. ECB President Mario Draghi pointing to continuing risks for the economy. Here he is.
The risks surrounding the euro area growth outlook are still tilted to the downside on account of on account of the persistence of uncertainties related to geopolitical factors, the threat of protectionism, and vulnerabilities in the emerging markets.
A new data out of China on Friday shows significantly weaker than expected trade data for the month of February. Exports down 20.7% from the same period last year, while imports fell 5.2%. Weakening global demand, a trade war with the U.S., and a slowing domestic economy all contributing there. Beijing has unveiled nearly $300 billion in tax cuts this week in an effort to combat slowing growth. Well, Chinese stock index is taking a big hit Friday on that data, along with signs of tightening regulations from Beijing. The Shanghai Composite closing down well over 4%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng down nearly 1.9%. Nikkei in Tokyo closing down over 2% as SoftBank shares slumped there. Kospi in Seoul finishing down around 1.3% as Hyundai shares lost nearly 4%. European indexes following that same trend. London's FTSE 100 and the Frankfurt DAX both off around. You see London down around just over 1/3% at the open. The Frankfurt DAX, if I move out of the way, is down around 0.75% at the open. CAC here in Paris down around 2/3%. Well, meanwhile, the dispute between the U.S., China, and Canada over tech giant Huawei continues. Canada has begun proceedings to extradite Chief Financial Officer Meng Wanzhou to the U.S. to face charges of fraud over alleged violations of sanctions on Iran. China's foreign minister said Friday his country will take all necessary measures to defend the legitimate rights of its companies and citizens. Wang Yi expressed support for Huawei's lawsuit against the U.S. government over a law the company says unfairly targets it. The foreign minister says Huawei should not be a silent lamb to the slaughter. Here he is.
It's quite obvious to any fair and unbiased person that the recent action against a particular company and a Chinese individual is not purely a judicial case, but a deliberate political move to bring them down.
Well, finally, for business, The Economist has called 2019 the year of the vegan. And if UK bakery chain Gregg's is any example, there may be something to that. The chain has reported a bump in sales of nearly 10% in recent weeks. It's crediting that to publicity around its new vegan sausage roll. Gregg's has nearly 2,000 locations across the UK. It launched the roll made with meat substitute corn at the beginning of January to coincide with, quote, Veganuary. That's when many people try veganism for a month at the start of the year. Well, in a year of dreary retail figures in the UK, Gregg's has been the rare exception. Profits rose 15% over 2018. So keep an eye on 2019 and see what that vegan roll does for it overall.
Brian Quinn, vegan roll, just like you. Looks good.
That was my nickname in college.
All right. Thank you, Brian.